The U.S. Africa Leaders Summit has many components to it, with a special focus on investment in African youth and innovation. For more on that aspect, my colleague Jackson Mvunganyi has lined up some of those young innovators right here in the studio. Over to you, Jackson.
Well, Esther, early this week, U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken hosted a summit at the State Department focusing on investment and African youth innovation. The event, which featured a pitch competition by young African innovators, was attended by a number of high-profile individuals from the U.S. and Africa, speaking on the important role of public-private partnerships in strengthening trade and investment between the U.S. and the continent.
In the lead-up to a busy week of meetings bringing together a number of African and American leaders representing public and private sectors, Secretary Blinken hosted a pre-summit event with African entrepreneurs, investors and influencers. He reminded the audience that Africa is the continent with the youngest population, which, if properly tapped, can generate a demographic dividend that will benefit the whole world.
Today, more than 60% of Africa's population is under the age of 25. By 2030, 2 in every 5 people on this planet will be African.
The meeting, dubbed the Innovators Gathering, investing in U.S.-Africa cultural and economic ties, was addressed by a number of high-profile leaders, including former U.S. President Barack Obama. In a video message, President Obama spoke about the need to invest in Africa's youth.
And I hope you use this gathering as an opportunity to build the connections you need to do even more. So congratulations on everything you've accomplished. And anyone looking for investment opportunities, I encourage you to look to Africa, because something special is happening there.
British actor Idris Elba, who is of Sierra Leonean and Ghanaian heritage, called for a different type of relationship with Africa, where Western government and companies invest in innovation and partnership instead of just providing foreign aid.
If there are any investors that are listening and watching today, if you do not consider Africa as a viable investment, you're not considering yourselves or your future.
Hosted in partnership with Google and the Tony Elumelu Foundation, the event also featured pitches by finalists of the first annual Africa Digital Innovation Competition for African Startups, which was organized by the U.S. Chamber of Commerce's U.S. Africa Business Center. One of the runners-up for the top prize was GrowAgric, a Kenyan-based agriculture technology platform that partners with small and medium-scale farms. GrowAgric founder Alemede told the audience that in the last 2 years of its existence, her platform has helped increase both the farmers' productivity and revenue.
GrowAgric is not only farmer first, we also refer to ourselves as an agriculture technology by farmers for farmers, because the founding team is made up of farmers. And that is what makes us unique. Our strength is the partnership we have with our farmers.
She was selected as a runner-up behind the competition's eventual winner, Tunde Oyebamiji, whose medical logistics startup provides a platform for delivery of critical medical services by connecting health facilities to suppliers and manufacturers of essential medical supplies.
Every single day in Nigeria, 145 pregnant women and 6,000 children with severe anemia die because they could not get a blood transfusion. While essential supplies goes to waste in urban centers, rural areas routinely face stockouts and patients suffer. We are using technology, mobile application, 24/7 call center, and an autonomous flying vehicles to connect rural hospitals to suppliers of essential medications, and we deliver to them right at their doorstep.
Thomas DeBass is the Managing Director, Office of Global Partnerships at the U.S. Department of State. He says that it is fitting for the Africa Leadership Summit to start off by recognizing African innovators and entrepreneurs.
The future of Africa depends on young people in its diaspora. So this is their event, their celebration, that we know they are the bridge between America and the continent. And that can only be strengthened when you celebrate their roles, the critical role they play in our relationship with the continent.
And now joining me are the two winners of the Africa Digital Competition. On my right is Alemede of GrowAgric and Tunde Oyebamiji of Healthbotics. Welcome and congratulations to both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, I will start with you. You're into agriculture. There has been this stereotype, especially among young people, about this being something that is done by people in the rural areas, poor people that are uneducated. How do you change that narrative?
Yeah, thank you. That's always a question I get very often. You're right, agriculture is not cool, and people don't see it as a viable career path just because of what's happened historically. Myself and my co-founder, David and Jojo, are really, really passionate about trying to solve this. So what we do is we have regular sessions with young farmers. We present ourselves, you know, me having worked in strategy consulting for so many years, David having worked in finance for so many years, and say, look at us, look at where we ended up. If we ended up as farmers, that means there must be something there. And then you can also see what it's done to us and how impactful what we're trying to solve is. And yeah, you could eventually also do it yourself. So we present ourselves as the face of farming. We present ourselves as cool farmers and use that to encourage the young people to also look to that as a...
Do you see a change of attitudes?
Yes. So we actually did an event where we said to many youth, we said, you know, what would it take for farming to be cool again? And they said, well, just come talk to us as you are. So show us yourself. And we think that is really changing.
You're the biggest selling point.
We are the face of it. And we've been doing that. And we have, I mean, about 65% of our farmers are actually youth. You know, we've been able to get so many youths into farming. And we continue to look forward to a time when people think, you know, I could become a consultant and I could become a farmer, and one doesn't take more leverage because we need food.
Yes,
we
absolutely.
all need to eat.
We want to make farming sexy.
Yes.
Tunde, welcome. Congratulations. You won this digital pitch contest. Your company, Healthbotics, which you started, I believe, 2017, has a personal connection to you, the story. Tell us the inspiration behind you starting it.
Yeah, thank you very much for this question. Actually, we started Healthbotics in 2017, but we incorporated in 2020, and then we started full commercial operation in 2021, actually, July 2021. And of course, it's very important to me and my co-founder, and of course the entire team, because we have a personal connection to this story. We know what it means to lose someone. My co-founder knows what it means to lose someone. And we are both doctors, medical doctors. We assist surgeries, we see patients, and we know what it means for families to lose someone. Most of the time, patients come to the hospital and they are at the point of dying. What you just need to do for them is just keep putting a needle, then transfuse them with just blood. And that can actually be a problem. Most of the time, you don't have access to that blood, or where it is, it can be moved from that where it is at that moment to another part, especially in rural communities. So at the end of the day, we end up seeing that loss as just another person. But to the family, to the relatives, it's actually just 100% actually to them. And of course, it's a big loss for the country too, because that person can actually change the narrative of that country too. So we've experienced this, and with our experience, we always put a lot of passion and effort and energy to actually making sure no other family experience the loss we experience as individuals too.
That's such a critical problem that you're addressing. What would additional investment in Healthbotics mean for you and for your mission? Yeah,
thank you. I've been waiting for this question actually. Now, two things. One is that we currently operate in about 3 states in southern Nigeria, Oyo State, Ondo, and we also operate in Kwara State. Even as yesterday when I was speaking with my team, they've also made some delivery to Osun State, as far as Elisha and Osun State. So we want to actually scale this, and by third quarter 2024, we want to start operating in about 20 states in Nigeria. And beyond that, I tell people, in Nigeria is in, you look at Nigeria in different, aspect now. If you go to Lagos, you go to Ikoyi, you go to Banana Island, that's Nigeria. If you go to my state in Osun, where we don't have roads and access to infrastructure, that's also Nigeria. So we need to actually look for ways to actually serve these two different people across different regions. So we're also looking to investing in autonomous flying vehicle, like drone technology, to actually be able to bypass the road, the bad road, to be able to get essentials to them at the right time and the right place. Most of the time, you can't compare essential with food. When food does not come on time, when it comes, you are fine when you eat. But when blood, oxygen, or even medication does not come on time, then the person is dead. And we're trying to actually invest in this. So additional investment will actually be used to expand to other states, because it's a pan-Nigerian problem. And also invest in critical infrastructure like drone technology to actually be able to ensure we actually get those delivery as fast as possible to local communities.
Right, thank you. All right, real quick, in a few seconds, how have you been able to increase the productivity of your partner farmers?
Yeah. So there are a couple of things we do to increase productivity of our farmers. We start at the very beginning, so we make sure that every single farmer gets quality inputs. The quality of the input has an impact on the quality of the output. And then throughout the farming cycle, we have field officers that would regularly visit our farmers. We have training we provide for them, and our farmers track their numbers on our farm management app. And by doing all of these things, they're able to know how well they're performing, what they should do, what's the best practice, and all of that cumulatively helps them to produce better.